This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. Hi guys. Good morning and good evening. I see still folks are joining in. Okay, no issues. Yeah. So I just wanted to confirm on my voice. So is my voice clear? Can someone please confirm?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. So today is our first class uh, after the demo which we had on last Sunday. So from today onwards, we are going to start our regular classes uh, out of which the first class we will be starting today. Okay, so let me first share. I hope you are able to see my screen. Let me share this. The course contents are the day wise topics which we are going to take up from today. Okay, see, I as I mentioned on demo day also, I don't know, most of them are there in a demo class, or else if anyone joins newly, so they can see. So I I divided entire or designed and divided entire course into four phases, guys. Okay. So first one is like Selenium introduction. So where I am going to provide some introductory related topics. Okay. So like what is Selenium and very basic things. Okay. Then second phase where we are going to discuss about core Java concepts, as we our course is Selenium with Java. Okay. Then third phase, which is nothing but the main phase, that is all about Selenium core concepts, where I'm going to discuss about Selenium WebDriver. So here where we are going to see how to automate different things in using Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Then final or fourth phase, where we are going to discuss about some advanced topics which are required for our Selenium test automation. So part of that, so we will be discussing about different frameworks, different tools which we need for our Selenium test automation. Suppose like TestNG and page object model using and BDD framework and Maven, how to use Maven and how to use Git repository tool and how to use CI/CD tool like Jenkins. All these different integrations we will be discussing at the fourth and final phase called advanced Selenium concepts. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's start with the first phase where we are going to discuss day one. We are going to discuss some introduction things, guys. So guys, mostly first and second classes would be like very kind of a concepts classes, like theory classes will be there, guys. So don't worry, I will try to make more interesting also those things. So from third class onwards, second or third class onwards, we will be having more practical sessions. So that is nothing but we are going to uh, uh, I'm going to explain the concepts with examples, and I'm going to write the script and show you how really Selenium or Java works and all those things. But so for today and tomorrow, mostly it will be like kind of a theory classes. So please bear with me. Like, and anyway, as I mentioned, I will try to make it more interesting as much as I can. Okay, yeah. So, as part of today's topics, these are the topics which we are going to discuss, guys. What is automation testing or test automation? Why we need automation testing? Though we have, what do you mean? Though we have manual or functional testing already in place, and how to learn any automation tool. Okay, and different types of automation approaches and introduction to Selenium and why. Some of the topics which we already discussed during our demo session, guys. So but anyway, let me quickly revisit them again. It's because I don't know, some of them are newly joined or some of them, right? That's why my intention is to let's quickly think. So out of which there are two new topics here: how to learn automation tool, one new topic which I did not discuss in the demo class, and different types of automation approaches. This is also new topic which we did not discuss in the demo class. Okay, these two are new. Anyway, let's quickly discuss about what is automation and why we need automation and all, right? So I'm just quickly revisiting those things, guys. Yeah. So as I mentioned in the demo class, right? So what is an automation first? Okay, because nowadays, if you see, everyone is talking about automation. Stakeholders or business people or product owners, so they want to implement, they want to adopt automation into their projects or products. That's where automation becomes one of the popular buzzword in the current industry. Okay, current market. So let me put it in very simple words. Automation is nothing but we are going to create a technique, or we are going to build a technique or script which will make sure uh, of which is going to make a mission or a process or a functionality of an application to work on its own or to work automatically with a little human intervention. So that is nothing but an automation. So here what we are going to create or design and develop a script or a technique which is going to make a mission or a process or a functionality of an application to work automatically, to work on its own with a little manual intervention. Why do we need manual intervention? Is like, so we need to run our automation scripts, and or else we need to schedule automation scripts. That's where a little manual intervention is required. Other than, so once you start running your automation scripts, your manual intervention is not at all required. Okay, during execution. Got it? So here, suppose if you take a functionality of an application, if we take an e-commerce website, that is nothing but online shopping website, where you need to create an order, place an order, okay, purchase an item. Then if you automate that, if you write a script to automate that, like the steps would be like launching your application, search for particular item and add that item to the shopping cart, and provide address details and shopping payment details, and click on checkout button and read the order number, like that. So these are the steps we can automate by using a script or something, so that those steps will get executed automatically. So that is called automation, guys. Okay, so next thing quickly, what is test automation and why do we need this test automation, and what are the benefits which we get if you have a test automation in place. Okay, so this test automation is moreover specific to our software testing industry. Okay, so here, as you see, during our software testing, whatever manually we do, okay, whatever functional testing we do, like test cases we will be having, and we will be validating our different features of that particular application. Okay, so the testing is in single word, guys, testing, software testing is all about validation and verification. That's it. So entire testing is nothing but validation and verification, where we are going to validate our different features which we have in our application. Whatever application we are going to test it, whatever application we are going to validate it, right? So where simply suppose there is a login page, there is a home page, there is a search page or something like that. Different pages are there in our application. So as part of our testing, what we do, we will validate. Suppose login page is there. I want to validate login page, whether login page is working fine or not. Like whenever you provide username, password, and click on login button, whether you are able to proceed to the next page or not. Or whenever you provide a wrong email ID and then try to log in, then it should show some warning or error message saying that email ID is invalid or something like that. With different cases, with different use cases or different test cases, we are going to validate our application or product. And at the end of the day, I mean at the end of our testing, we are going to make sure our application is more stable, and our application quality wise is our application is more robust. That is nothing but, so we are making sure our quality of our application is proper. That's what we do as part of testing, guys. Okay, so how do we do the testing? As part of a manual testing or functional testing, we will write a test cases and we will execute those test cases. Execute in the sense, take the test cases and test steps, and then we will validate our application step by step, right? The same way in automation testing also. Okay, when it comes to automation testing also, we are going to automate the test cases which we already have. And when we execute those automation test cases, so it will take care of validating that application. That is nothing but, here validation is nothing but comparing, guys. Okay, so validation and verifications are nothing but comparing the results. What results we are going to compare? We are going to compare actual results against expected results. What are actual results? Actual results are the results which we see during the execution. Okay, expected results are the results which we already set. Okay, suppose when I enter username, password, and click on login button, you should navigate to home page. Okay, so you should navigate to home page is a expected result. Okay, so that we know, it actually, as soon as you click on a button, it should go to the home page and it displayed the home page details. Okay, then in the same way, that is expected results. So while executing our test cases also, whether that is really happening or not, when I click on a login button, whether really the user navigate into the home page or not, that is actual result which we see. So at the end of that any test case or any validation, we compare these both things, expected results versus actual results. If those two are matching, then our test case would pass. If anything is not matching, then our test case will get failed. So that is all about the testing, guys. Okay, so same thing in our automation testing also, but instead of doing manually, we are going to use one of the automation tools available in the market. Okay, we will take one of the automation tools in the market, and we will try to automate the test cases which we have. And during the automation execution also, okay, during the automation execution also, what we are going to do, we are going to validate. That is nothing but we are going to compare the results. So what the results, like expected results versus actual results. So based on that only, we will mark the test cases as passed or failed, and I will get the results after entire execution is done. Okay, so that is nothing but test automation, guys. Okay, so suppose we have a manual testing already in place. Okay, so and automation testing is also doing almost same. It is just comparing the results only. Then, so if manual testing which is already there in place, why do I need to go for automation testing? Okay, let's see. There are a lot of benefits which made this automation testing more powerful or popular in our software testing industry. Okay, so first thing is, it saves a lot of time, guys. Once you automate your application, suppose in case of manual testing, you have to sit in front of the machine, and then you need to validate everything. But if you automate your test cases, suppose you have some huge number of test cases, 800 or 1000 test cases you have. When you have automation in place in your project or product, then when you run it, it will run quickly, guys. If you compare with the manual testing with automation testing will be faster, because it will we have enough feature, like you can run your test cases in parallel mode, you can run your test cases in different missions, so that it will execute very fastly and it will give the results back. Okay, that's where you can save lot of time, cost, because once you have automation implemented in your project or product, once you have automation, then you can reduce the resources. Suppose manual resources count you can reduce, because you already automated everything. You cannot take out all the manual testers. Yes, you can keep one or two manual testing team members, and you can replace others with automation engineer, one or two. Okay, so even once everything is done, automation is done, automation people also only one person is required for one resource is required for running the test case and fixing them and doing other enhancements and all. Okay, that's where cost wise also you can save lot of cost. Next thing, as obviously it is faster than manual testing, as 70 to 75% faster than this, and results will be very reliable. So all these topics which I discussed in the demo session also, I'm just repeating quickly. Okay, reliable in results, because the results which you get after automation execution is done will be very reliable, because whenever any test case fails, you have an option to take a screenshot as well in our automation, so that the results, when you check the results, whenever wherever any test case is failed, you will be having a screenshot also. So by seeing that screenshot, you can actually get to know what really went wrong, whether it is application issue or whether it is a script issue or environment issue or something. You can check by seeing that screenshot. That's where the results which we get from the automation will be very reliable. And then human intervention not at all required during your execution. That's what I mentioned. And it increases the efficiently. You can effectively test your all features of your application. Okay, and reusable test script, this is another important or more beneficial, is like, see, you can write a script once, and then that can be reused across your all test cases. Suppose, for example, you have some 800 test cases where you are going to automate it. Okay, in all your 800 test cases, first step would be like launching your application and log into your application. Okay, suppose you have written a method or a utility or a script to launch application and log into application, then the same script can be reused across all your 800 test cases. You don't need to rewrite again. That is one of the main benefit which you get using automation is like you write once and use multiple times. Okay, you don't need to write, or so for 800 test cases you don't need to write that login script 800 times. You can simply reuse that script across all your 800 test cases. Like that, there will be lot of reusable steps will be there. So those you can simply write once and then use it multiple times, guys. So next thing, you can run n number of cycles, guys. Okay, test frequently and thoroughly. That means you, if at all you want to run your automation scripts, you can run n number of times in a day. Okay, so that's where. But in manual testing, if at all you want to execute your test cases, you manual team has to sit in front of the machine and then do all those things. But automation testing, you can just trigger your automation test cases. Those will get executed in remote missions or somewhere. Okay, so finally, so if you have automation or you adopted automation into your project or project, so you can release your project or product to the market early as possible, because the testing phase will be faster as you have automation testing in place, so that you can make sure your application stable by using automation, so that you can release your mm, product to the market early. So as part of this Agile and DevOps trending methodologies, so every stakeholder or the product owner, they want to release their products or projects to the market early. So that this automation testing will really help them in doing this. That is nothing but releasing their products to the market as early as possible. Okay. So these are the benefits which you get if you have a automation testing in place. That's where automation testing has become one of the most powerful or popular thing in our selenium sorry, in our software testing phase. Okay, so now, so this is all about this thing, guys. Now let's discuss as part of our course content how to learn any automation tool, guys. Okay, how to learn any automation tool. Then I will discuss about what all different types of automation approaches are there. Okay, these two are the new topics which I did not discuss in the what do you mean, discuss in the demo class, guys, demo session. Okay, so how to learn any automation tool, guys. It is not related to Selenium tool or anything. Any tool which you are going to pick up and then you're going to start learning automation, then what are all steps to be followed? Okay, so I designed and developed some steps, guys. So let me show you that slide. Yeah, this one. Okay, so easy way to learn any automation tool. So if you follow these 7 basic steps, we can learn any automation tool very easily. Okay, so first thing, guys, first we need to identify, suppose whatever automation tool, suppose you are going to learn Selenium only. Okay, so Selenium supports multiple programming languages like Python, Java, C Sharp, Node.js, or PHP, anything, right? So first you need to uh, get whatever programming language you want to use it, like Selenium with Java you are going to learn. Okay, then first go and learn the core concepts of Java, which are basically required for your Selenium test automation. Okay, so first step we are going to learn the programming language which is supported by that particular tool. Okay, in the second step, what we write, we also learn the basic concepts of automation tool. Suppose Selenium only, what we do is as part of second step, I'm going to learn the basic concepts like how to launch a browser, how to launch your application, how to click on a button, the basic, very basic stuff you are going to learn as part of second step. And you will try to automate one basic scenario. Okay, you will take simple scenario like login to application, that's it. Okay, you try to automate it and then try to run it. Okay, so 99% of the times the first script which you have written will be failed. Okay, 99% of the times, because you are very new to automation and you learn just programming, basic concepts of programming language and basic concepts of automation tool, and you have written a script, and then so most of the times it will fail. Okay, so in the third step, which is very important, guys. So generally most of the people, they will try to fix that issue, whatever it failed, wherever it failed. Okay, so they will try to fix it, but it won't get fixed. Then they will stop there itself, and then they will start looking for another things or another course or something. So what I suggest here is, right, so whenever your first test case fails or first automation script fails, don't stop there itself. Okay, so don't stop your automation thing there itself. Go and search in the Google and get the help from your friends or colleagues, and try to make that first script whatever you have written, try to make that pass. Okay, that's we have to do. So don't stop in generally people what you do, right, so they will try it, but still if it is not working, right, they stop there itself, and they start learning some other thing. Okay, so don't do that. So whenever your test case fails, so don't stop, and then go and get the help from the your friends or colleagues, or you can search in the Google. There are a lot of blogs or communities are discussing about Selenium, guys, Selenium or any tool. So you will get lot of responses, and try to implement them and try to fix them. Once your first test case gets passed, and you will gain confidence, right, you gain confidence, and then in the fifth step, you start exploring the tool. That is nothing but you just learn the basic concepts of tool, right? Now you start exploring the different features of the tool, and different options or different features which it has, you can learn. Okay, and during that time, and you are going to practice a lot. You have the practice is very important, guys. Once you learn the tool, once you get the uh, how to automate different things, you can take different web applications or different applications, and you start automating them. So the the practice only will make you understanding the concepts better, and you can deeply understand different concepts of your tool. Okay, so during your practice you will improve your work. So maybe in the first or second step, you had already written one script, right? Maybe you had written in a very basic manner. So in the last step, seventh step, so once you practice a lot, you will know how to write that scripts effectively. Okay, so that your script's performance also will get increased. That's what you do. So seventh step, you simply improve your work during your practice. Okay, so if you follow these seven basic steps, we can learn any automation tool, guys. Okay, yeah. So this is all about how to learn any automation tool. And next topic would be like, what are all different automation approaches we have in the market. Okay, see, automation can be done different ways, guys. Okay, suppose Selenium follows one automation approach, and there are two sets of tools in the market, guys. So let me divide that into two sets. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my notepad and let me show you. So different types of automation approaches. Okay, the first one is object based automation. Okay, object based automation. Second one is image based automation. Okay, so these are the two different automation approaches we have in the market. Yes, so whatever automation tools we have in market, we can divide them into these two categories. Okay, object based automation tool or image based automation tool. Okay, so what we do under object based automation tool set, suppose there are the tools like our Selenium and HP UFT, IBM RFT, all these will come under object based automation tool. what we do under object based automation, right? Object based automation, right? So under object based automation, so we are going to identify the elements. Here elements are nothing but buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, images, or whatever text boxes and all. So as part of object based automation approach, so elements, okay, elements will be identified by object properties. Okay, what is object properties? That is nothing but, so the element will have, each element will have some attributes or some properties. Suppose let me show you. So I am launching simple wikipedia.org site. Okay, if you see, this site has some home page where I have different controls like different hyperlinks here, and there is one image here, there is a text box, drop down, and icon such button or something. So if at all I want to identify this particular element text box, I do inspect, and there is some section called elements. I have an entire html page of this particular page is there, and suppose this text box is referred with this input tag. Okay, as you are able to see my screen, right? So here input tag, if you see, this input tag has different attributes like id, name, type, size, autofocus and all. So these are the object properties or the attributes. So I am going to identify this particular text box by using this id or this name or this thing, or there are different identification techniques which we have. So we are going to use those identification techniques, and then we are going to identify this particular text box or something. So with that, I am going to perform different action, entering some text into text box, clicking on button, selecting the option from drop down. All these things I will be doing once I have identified that particular element. Okay. So as part of object based automation approach, the elements will be identified by the object properties, and then will perform the action. Okay. Will perform the particular action, whatever action. Okay, like clicking on a button or something. So the basic thing here is the identification will be done by using object properties. That's why we called it is a object based automation tools or approach. Okay, so the example tools which we have in the market for these object based automation tools are like uh, Selenium WebDriver or Selenium. Okay, this is object based automation tool. HPUFT or QTP, whatever. Okay, that one. IBM RFT. Okay, rational functional tester. And what else? Cypress. Okay, and there is a playwright something. There are a lot of n number of tools are available, guys. Okay, there are a lot of tools which are coming under object based automation approach. Okay, so now the second approach is nothing but image based automation approach, guys. Okay, image based automation approach are tools. So as part of this thing, the elements will be identified or located by using images, not the object properties. Suppose I want to enter some text into this text box. What I do as part of image based automation approach, right? I am going to capture this image, this particular image like this. Okay, something like, suppose, see, I am going to capture this text box image like this. Okay, this is my image. Suppose let me copy here. So this is my image text box. Okay, so and using this image as part of image based automation tool, whatever action I want to perform, I want to enter some text into text box or selecting drop down like that. Suppose similarly, I am going to capture let me close this. So I am going to capture this drop down like this. Okay, like this. Okay, so I'm going to save these images and use these images while performing some action. So as part of image based automation tools, what we are going to do, right? So the elements, okay, elements will be identified by images here. Okay, images, and then particular actions will be performed. Okay, actions will be performed. Okay, so this way, so you got it right. So it's clearly a different way of doing it. Okay, so as part of object based automation tools, we are going to identify elements by using its object properties like id, name, or there are different locators we have in Selenium also, like id, name, xpath, css selector, and all. So by using them, we are going to identify the elements and performing the particular action. But when it comes to image based automation, everything will be driven by images. That is nothing but you are going to identify the elements or whatever buttons or text boxes or radio buttons or anything. You are going to identify by using images. Okay, so that is called image based automation approach or automation tools, guys. So the example tools for this image based automation tools are like, so there are multiple tools for this category also, like apply tools. There is one tool, and eggplant. Okay, eggplant from test plant is a company, this one. And Sikuli script. Okay, this is one tool. So like that, there are very, I mean, for this category there are less or limited tools available, guys. So the main advantage of image based automation tool is like, so it doesn't care about the technology which used for that particular application, because so whether it is developed by java or something or whatever, or it is web based application or windows based application, or command line based application, or any application, the image based automation tools can automate, because it is going to identify by images, and based on that it is going to perform actions and then do it. But when it comes to object based automation approach, there are the limitations. Okay, so suppose Selenium WebDriver can only automate web elements. Okay, that is the thing. But the web elements are web applications, because whatever applications you can open through browser using internet, those applications can only be automated by using Selenium WebDriver. That's where, so the difference between object based and image based is like, so image based automation tools can automate any application. There is no limitation for them. But object based automation approach, there are some limitations. But still, image based automation approach tools have some disadvantages or drawbacks also, because every time whenever you automate your application, your application should be visible in front of your screen. Then only it can what it will do, right? We are going to save all the images of that particular application. So when while running that image based automation script, then it will take that image and it will compare in the actual execution. And then if both images are matching, then it is going to perform the action. Okay, suppose if image is not matching, or while comparing, if any pop-up is coming in between, so your tool cannot identify that particular image and it will fail. Okay, there are some drawbacks also the image. That's why image based automation tool is very less, in less scenarios, in very less scenarios we go for it and then use it. Okay, yeah. So these are the two different categories or two different types of approaches we have in our software testing, automation testing industry, guys. Got it? Yeah. So I'm taking a pause here, guys, before going to the next topic. I'm just taking a pause. If you guys have any questions till now, you can just post your question or you can talk to me. Whatever topics which we discussed till now, right? If you guys have any questions, we can discuss quickly in 2 to 3 minutes, or else I will continue with the next topic. Any questions so far, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Then fine.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah. So let's proceed to the next set of topics which we have for today quickly. So we are done with this different types of automation approaches, right? So what I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to show you how Selenium will work generally. Okay. So what is, I mean, Selenium, what is Selenium? Different components are there, right? So those anyway we have discussed in demo session. Let me quickly uh, discuss about different components of Selenium or what is different. I mean, what is Selenium and all quickly. Then I will show you what do you mean. Um, how Selenium really works. Okay, so what is Selenium, right? So Selenium is actually one of the test automation tools available in the market, right? So and it comes under a category called object based automation approach because Selenium follows object based automation approach. Then what is Selenium basically? So it's not a perfect definition, guys. So we are going to just provide something. What is Selenium? So Selenium is actually one of the automation tools available in the market. That is for sure, right? Next, Selenium is not a single tool, guys. Actually, Selenium has four different components. That's why we call it as a suite of softwares. The basic designing, I mean, it is mainly designed for automating web application interactions. That is nothing but, so Selenium can automate only web application interactions. So here web application is nothing but the application which we open through browser using internet. That means if it is a web application, you can open through your mobile also in mobile browser, or you can open in any laptop or any machine which has some internet connection. That's it, right? So that's where, so Selenium can only focus on web application interactions, and so that whatever scripts or test cases which we automate using Selenium, those can perform the same interactions how the real user performs. Okay, how the real user clicking on buttons or entering some text into text boxes, selecting options from the drop down and navigating to different pages, reading some text from the application. So all these actions how the real user performs, same way Selenium can perform, guys. That's how the Selenium automation tool has been designed. Okay, so the Selenium developers are the Selenium guys who developed it. So they have written some predefined classes and methods, okay, as part of Selenium tool. So which will make sure performing the actions how the real user performs. Okay, how the real user clicking on a button, same way Selenium script can click on a button. So that is what Selenium tool is. But one of the things I'm pressing here is Selenium can automate only web applications. Okay, but it's not a hard limit, guys, because so nowadays, so most of the applications or most of the products or projects which we are going to have it in the market are like web-based applications only. So that if it is a web application, it can be accessed from anywhere, guys. Okay, as far as you have a internet, and internet has spread across the world. So if it is a web application, you can access from anywhere. That's where if it is a non-web application, that's but Windows based application or something, so you have to install that application into your machine, and then you need to launch it and all this. So all those headaches won't be there for these things, web applications. So that's where Selenium is main focus is also on web applications only. Okay, so next thing, as I mentioned it just mimic the behavior of real user, how the real user clicking on a button, same way Selenium can click on a button. I will show you how that is really happening also. Okay, so as I mentioned, Selenium not a single tool. It has total four different components available, tools or components available in the thing, and each tool designed to meet the different needs of an organization. organization is nothing but a market. Okay, that different applications or something. So if you see, the four components are like Selenium RC. Okay, this is one of the oldest component, that is nothing but Selenium 1.0, the first version of Selenium. That is RC is nothing but remote control. Nowadays we cannot use this. We cannot use this because this component has been deprecated. They stopped it. Okay, they decommissioned it. So because of they whatever the features it has, they merged those features into Selenium WebDriver, and now we have only Selenium WebDriver. Selenium RC is no more, guys. You cannot use it actually. Okay. So second component is Selenium IDE, which is basically a simple uh, browser plugin or add-on which can be used to record your actions and play them back. Okay, so I will show you with examples also, guys. So the here where I'm going to start all our practical sessions, like, so I'm going to show you how to install IDE, how to record your actions, how to play them back, how to see the generated script, and everything I will be showing step by step. So in the coming classes, maybe mostly from tomorrow only we will start it. Okay, so next, Selenium WebDriver, which is most popular or the main component of all these among these four components, guys, because this is the tool or this is the component which is going to automate your applications. That is nothing but it has a lot of predefined uh, classes and methods which followed object oriented approach as well, so that it will take care of automating different things. Okay, so finally, Selenium Grid. So this is another component which is basically for distribution automation. Here where we will be having hub and node architecture, like client and server architecture. So where hub we are going to run the test cases, and it will distribute the test case to the different node missions. I will explain this in the coming classes with examples, guys. How to configure Selenium Git, how to run your test cases from hub, and all those will discuss step by step in the coming classes. But for now, so you can understand Selenium is not a single tool, and also you don't need to worry about all the components. So mainly we will focus on the Selenium WebDriver, which is which is uh, which is the tool or component which we are going to use in real time also to automate your applications. Selenium ID is also just for learning purpose, guys. You won't use Selenium ID in your real time automation, because this is just for learning purpose. Because here where we will simply record the actions and then play them back. That's it. So it has lot of limitations also. Because of that, we cannot use this Selenium ID in our real time project implementations. Okay, real time test automation implementation. So moreover, we will use Selenium WebDriver and Grid only. Okay, so these two components only we will be effectively using in our real time real time automation implementation also. Got it? So this is for just learning purpose, and RC is no more actually. You don't need to worry about this RC. Got it? Yeah. So then I will show you now how Selenium really works, guys. Okay. So as I mentioned, Selenium is a automation approach tool. So I will show you running one script, guys. Okay. So let me open my uh, Eclipse. Eclipse is one of the IDEs. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So which is a Java based tool. So that means you can create Java applications using Eclipse, guys. Okay. So like Eclipse, we have IntelliJ IDEA and we have Visual Code. There are different tools available, which these are basically for automating. I mean, this is basically for writing your code. Okay, if at all you want to write some code, Java code, and you want to run it, right, for that you need one environment. That is nothing but you need some tool. So there we are going to use this Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEA and all. So don't worry, I will show you how to install, how to configure all these things when we start learning Java classes. Okay, mostly in 3 to 4 days we are going to start Java classes. That time I will show you how to install this Eclipse and how to install Java and configuration. All those things I will discuss. Let it load. So I already have a script which which is for a simple scenario, so that I will show you and run it. Okay, if you see, mm, so these are the different projects which I created as part of my previous batch, guys. So similarly, we are going to have it in our. We are going to learn all these in our uh, this this course also. Okay. Suppose if you see, this is one basic script which I have written for automating a simple test case like launching this wikipedia.org, entering some text in the search box like India, and I'm going to select some language here like English and clicking on search icon and navigating to this different new page and reading this text and then validating this header text and closing my browser. Okay, this is simple use case or test case which I have automated. So if you see here, I have automated this by using 7 different steps. Like, so first we need to initiate the WebDriver. That is nothing but initiating WebDriver is nothing but launching a browser, blank browser. Okay, and then launching your application, whatever application you are launching, and here where you are locating web elements. Second step, if you see, as I mentioned, as part of object based automation approach or object based automation tools, which will identify the elements by using its properties. Suppose if you see this search text box, I am going to I am let me show you this search text box. I am going to identify by using its name, like name has such, or else I can think I can identify using ID also. But we need to make sure while identifying it is uniquely identified or not. So I will explain all these locators and everything we have in Selenium in coming classes. But for now, just take it like, so Selenium will identify the elements by using its properties, that object or element properties. Okay, so that's where the search box is identified by name, and language drop down identified by this particular language name, and icon search icon is identified by the class, some class. Okay, so that's how I located my web elements. I perform some action. See, I'm entering India into such a text box, selecting the language as English from the language drop down, and clicking on the search icon. Okay, these are the actions I'm doing. Okay, and next, so as soon as I click on that search icon, it is going to take a few seconds, some microseconds to navigate to that page. So we are anticipating that browser response actually. So what I am doing, using some synchronization techniques which we have in Selenium, we are going to wait for the header text which is displayed here. Suppose as soon as I enter India English and search icon, it is navigating to the next page. See, it is taking some time, some minimum time like some microseconds or something. So what I'm doing, I'm waiting for this header text is displayed or not. Okay, so this is thing for waiting for that particular element. Then I'm reading the text actually using get text method, and I'm validating whether the text is India or not, and finally I'm closing my browser or concluding my test. Okay, so this is what, so don't worry about all these things, guys. So by the end of the course you will be in a position, or you will be in a position to write this script. This is very basic script, guys. Generally we would be writing a complex test case, we would be automating very complex test cases also. Okay, this is very basic test case. Okay, yeah. So now let me run this and show you how really this WebDriver is initiating, and that is nothing but launching the browser and entering this URL and performing these actions. I will how the really it is happening. Let me show. Okay, let me close my Chrome browser which is already opened. You don't need to close it, but I wanted to show when real new browser is opening, right? That's why I closed it. Even if any Chrome browser is opened, so it will freshly open using this initiate WebDriver, right? Every time it will launch a fresh browser, guys. It will clear all cookies and cache under that, and then it will open a fresh browser every time whenever you are running your test case. Okay, now let me run my test case. Just observe this, guys, how Selenium really works. So it is a Java code. So that's why I'm running as a Java application. See, it is going to start. Just a moment. Yeah, see, it is starting Chrome driver in console. See, one browser opened, blank browser first, and it is going to maximize. And see, it opened that site, India English, clicked on search icon, navigated here, and reading this text, and then validating and closing. See, closed. See, finally I got some console report also saying that header text which read from the application is India, and my test passed, the validation has been passed. Okay, so this is how, see how really. So I did not open that browser manually, guys. See, I'm running simply, see, running something like this. See how the browser is opening, I'm not touching my mouse pointer anywhere. So see, it is starting Chrome. See, it opened a browser, maximized, entered that URL, India English, and clicked on search icon, came here, and then reading and closing. See how quick it was. So like that, guys, automation will really help us in speeding up our testing phase in any project or product development. So that's where automation, test automation, has one of the most popular or powerful technique which we are using as part of our testing, right? Software testing phase. So which will speed up our testing phase, guys, basically. And also it will really help in our regression automation, regression testing, because suppose your application already developed, everything is developed, and you already uh, uh, tested your application. Okay, so then suppose there is small change is going to happen, there is some enhancement in your application. So after the enhancement has been implemented in your application, then you need to make sure your application is not going to break in any cases, it should run uh, as it is. Okay, so that time, so we will run our automation scripts again after this enhancement, as our small change been deployed to something, then we will run our automation scripts, we will make sure everything is working fine. So that's where automation will really help in our regression testing also, whenever any new enhancements or new changes are going to add it to your application. Got it? Yeah. So this is all about how Selenium works, guys. So I think we are on top of the hour today. Let's try to close for today. See, today we completed our whatever targeted for the first class. So tomorrow I'm going to deep dive into Selenium tool. Okay, so where I'm going to discuss about who developed it, when the Selenium came into the market, in which year, and what are all the different, who are all the different persons involved in Selenium automation tool. Those things I'm going to give tomorrow, and the some of the best features of Selenium I'm going to give. I'm going to give advantages, and also I'm going to discuss about limitations of Selenium also. Okay, and also I will start Selenium ID. So these topics I will just complete in first 30 minutes, and I will start Selenium IDE, which is one of the components of Selenium. I will show you how to install, how to start recording and all. So from tomorrow onwards we will be having a practical kind of sessions, guys. Okay, yeah, so that's all from my side for today, guys. So any, before closing the session, so if you guys have any questions or concerns, we can simply discuss now. You can just post your questions on chat box, or you can unmute yourself and then talk to me, whichever works fine. You can take. Okay, so not only, so whenever I'm asking questions or concerns, guys, it is not just about the class which we discussed or topics which we discussed. If you have any questions out of the context, like not only Selenium, anything, if you have, you can put those questions together and then post in the chat box, or you can ask me. And today's session, moreover, it's a kind of uh, theory kind of session, guys. So from tomorrow it will be more practical. Okay, I will, once that basic things are explained, because we need to know these things, guys. So we need to understand what are different approaches we have, automation approach. That's why I put together all these basic things in the first two classes. Then anyway, we will deep dive into Selenium and Java and all. That time we will be purely discussing about those topics. Any questions or concerns, guys, before closing the session for today? Okay, fine. I guess there are no questions for today. Yeah. Okay then. Fine for today. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. So let's catch up tomorrow at the same time, 7 a.m. IST. Okay. So same time, 7 a.m. IST. So we will be discussing some history about Selenium and other topics. Okay. Selenium ID also I will be starting tomorrow only. Yeah. Thank you all. See you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.